Hi, welcome to Revenue Marketing Television. I am your host, Jeff Pedowitz, President and CEO of Pedowitz Group. Today on CMO Insights, we have Cynthia Gumbert, who is Senior Vice President of Marketing for QuickBase. Cynthia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
It's great to have you. So many exciting things happening at QuickBase. So tell us a little bit about the transition of the company and what your role is as SVP of Marketing.
Sure thing. I've been here now just 3 months at QuickBase, and the company is going through a lot of transition. We used to be part of Intuit for many years. QuickBase is actually about 20 years old. And about a year and a half ago, QuickBase got spun off. It's now private equity owned, with the intent of growing very rapidly, and probably being on the public markets within a couple of years. We're doing extremely well at growing, but also going through a lot of transitions in the markets that we're going after, as well as a lot of the product features that we're adding, and investment in product as well.
So historically, QuickBase was more SMB oriented, right?
Yeah, as part of Intuit, the market was very much targeted to very small companies, sometimes 1 to 5 person small businesses, which is the same market that you see, for TurboTax and other Intuit products. And QuickBase grew to about 6,000 customers, a lot of them smaller businesses who don't have anybody who's, an application developer, but just needs the workflows, needs the forms, and it's been very, very successful that way. But also, despite that, we do have half of the Fortune 100 companies in our customer base. We've had a lot of success in enterprise. It's really been driven more by a use case that somebody finds us for, rather than large enterprise approach. So we're kind of turning that on its head and saying we are really a platform that larger companies can adopt across multiple business units. And that's the big transformation we're going through right now.
That is a big shift, going from, say, 1 to 5 employees to Fortune 50. So from a marketing standpoint, that's quite a bit of strategic coverage. So how are you approaching that for this year? How are you organizing your team? What's your strategy? What's the plan?
Well, you look at some of the most successful SaaS companies over the last, 10, 15 years, a lot of them did start with that SMB base as a customer. Even Salesforce was selling to, small businesses when they started out. It's much, much easier to go up market. Slack, some of those really hot, fast growing companies started where they spread like wildfire through smaller companies. And then suddenly, the large enterprises are looking at all the cool kids are using this tool, so we should adopt it as well. We're taking the same approach. The other, great kind of convergence of what's happening in the market for us now is seeing that, the no-code platform, combined with being able to develop a powerful solution that can solve an entire enterprise's needs, like CRM, which we're using internally, is really at the right place right now. I think when you see kind of a younger generation of workers or people who are either in startups or graduating from school, the millennial generation, they just want to do things themselves. They grew up in schools in areas where there's maker labs. They're learning to 3D print, which I used to be in that industry. They're learning to, create everything they need for themselves. And, here's this platform where you don't need to buy a ready-made tool. You don't need to take what your IT department's giving you. You can just develop it yourself exactly to fit your workflow or your needs. But at the same time, we've got the security, the scalability, and the platform that IT can, very much condone and adopt across an enterprise. So for me, it's great as a marketer. It's kind of a perfect storm.
So you're about 3 months in, but in terms as you start thinking about how you're going to build your team people-wise organization? Because that's a lot of coverage, right, from the SMB marketing, enterprise marketing. So what kind of people are you looking for? Skills? How are you structuring the, I guess, the organization?
Skills wise, we're developing a very large account based marketing muscle, which didn't really exist here before. We have some, great team members who've been doing marketing campaigns and programs and utilizing marketing automation. We have some, nurture capabilities here, as well as a fantastic community segment of our team. So just, skills wise, looking at building out that account-based marketing muscle, a group that can work very closely with enterprise sales and go after specific customers with the right approach and programs is the main area that I'm filling out. That aside, too, we've worked on revamping our company values, and that's rolling out right as we speak. And we are all, whether you're marketing, sales, product, HR, no matter what team here, we're looking for people who fit with our new company values. And the number one value on that list is customer obsessed. So can we find people who are, not customer, first, not customer focused, just really obsessed with doing the right thing for our customer. Filling out those values are trusted. We have to be, that trusted advisor, have our product be trusted by the largest enterprises in the world. Courageous, looking for people who are courageous, exceptional, and simplify is the last of our values, where we don't want this to be complex. Our product has to be, dead simple to use and to adopt.
A lot of successful marketing executives are making the shift towards really building customer-focused teams. How do you do that from an operational perspective, right? Because it's one thing to say, hey, we want to focus on the customer, but how do you actually do that from a marketing standpoint?
Well, we look at every piece of that customer journey, from digital to, the human interaction part on the phone and in person, face to face. And for me, it's, are we consistent? Are we providing a consistent message to our stakeholders? Being customer obsessed or customer first doesn't mean, if you take that to an extreme, we would give away our product for free and say, hey, we're doing great things for you. Here's a free product. But, it's really more about, is that journey matching to our brand promise? Are we dead simple to use and to adopt? Are we being very, upfront and communicating with them on what they're getting? Are we integrating, support into, we have a free trial, a month free trial. Are they getting enough support during that trial to understand, how to use the product? And then as they transition to a paid customer, is that transition from, marketing to sales to support seamless and, best possible experience for them? So we're operationalizing it not within marketing only, but within the transitions between marketing, sales, support, and product. So all teams are working very closely together to make sure we have that seamless experience.
So what is your boss holding you accountable for as you guys go through this transformation? And then what are you in turn holding your team accountable for?
We are accountable for the entire number of new logo acquisition and growing our active user base. So we'd like to continue growing our customer roster. My goal is sales' goal, is product's goal. It's all shared. It's not just, marketing will generate this number of leads and a piece of it. I feel accountable for all of it. And if we're all successful, then marketing is successful. Same thing is growing the active user base. We don't want to be selling product that isn't getting used. we want our customers to be, very successful and satisfied and continue to grow within accounts as well. So those are our two main targets for the year. And my one-on-ones with our CEO each week are around how many new customers have we won, and do I understand that pipeline and funnel enough to know how much needs to go in to get the right amount, out the bottom.
Okay, good. So being a technology company yourself, from a marketing standpoint, what's your approach strategically to investing in technology to scale your team?
I think, it all has to meet our end targets in the end. Investing in technology is very interesting here at QuickBase and different from anywhere I've been in the past, where we're using our own tool for CRM. We're using our own product for all of our reporting and dashboards, content calendar, and events management. So that's, the great part of it is we get to build whatever we need, which is lacking. And the more we use, the more we have something to market ourselves. So I can market to marketers as much as, to that IT stakeholder. Otherwise, to fill out the technology platform is, anything to get us better connected to our customers. So tying back to our value of being customer obsessed, are we using marketing automation in a way that's not just sending more emails and, sending more nurture communications, but are we segmenting? Are we personalizing? We have technology that ties into the product itself, Evergage, which enables us to personalize, the in-product experience and get better with that as well. So we're trying to, meet customers where they are, and get a lot more effective at sending the right message to the right person at the right time with our technology.
Nice. I think that's certainly a built-in advantage for you, right? That you have that platform that you can build so many things on top of. So I know you've only been there for 3 months, but what's been your biggest challenge so far?
I think the biggest challenge is serving large, medium, and small businesses, and not dropping the ball, not swinging the pendulum too far to say we're going to speak to CIOs at large enterprises and that's it. We have to do it all very well. So how do we maintain kind of a more transactional, try and buy system at the low end and keep that not just working, but continually improving, but also improve our ability to, make that connection at a senior executive level at large accounts and build the ABM muscle. So, keeping a lot of balls in the air, putting more balls in the air while the originals are still there is important. Lots of this. And, really bringing up our PR muscle as well. Nobody's heard of QuickBase. Some people have heard of it as, part of Intuit still, and that's been 1.5 years since we've separated from Intuit. So, I need to build up our brand awareness at the same time as running the demand programs.
So you've, that's great. That's great advice. So you've been VP for a while now at several different companies. What advice would you give to men or women starting off earlier in their careers that want to aspire to become a marketing executive? What would you tell them?
For me, it's just stay close to sales. Don't be that marketing person that, has your own goals that aren't necessarily connected very close to the business. So, I don't care if you're in B2B software or hardware or consumer, which consumer marketing usually is the sales department itself, but, stay close to the business, do something that's important to the CEO. So even if you're starting out, be relevant, find out what the company goals are, and then, be important to those.
Great advice. That's right. So thank you so much for being on the show today. Comments very insightful. And we're going to be looking forward to track your progress at QuickBase over the next year or two. Sounds like it's going to be an exciting journey.
Thank you, Jeff. It's been a pleasure.
You bet.